Have you ever sat there, knowing exactly what you should do, but you didn't move? You kept scrolling. You told yourself you'd start tomorrow. You waited for the perfect time. Let me tell you a truth the ancient Stoics knew well, and one the modern world loves to ignore. The greatest enemy of progress is not failure. It is not weakness. It is hesitation. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "Do not waste time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." In other words, stop thinking, start doing. But why don't we? Why do we hesitate, even when we know what must be done? Because your mind has not been trained for action. It has been trained for survival. And survival loves comfort. Comfort loves delay. Delay feeds fear. And fear, it kills your potential in silence. It's a vicious cycle. The longer you think, the weaker you become. The Stoics understood this perfectly. Action is the cure for fear. But if you do not learn to force yourself into action, life will pass you by. Opportunities will fade. Regret will multiply. That ends today. In this video I will give you 7 Stoic lessons, forged in the fires of ancient philosophy and sharpened with the insights of dark psychology, that will harden your mind, destroy hesitation, and turn you into a person of relentless action. These are not feel-good ideas, these are mental weapons, and by the time you finish this video, you will never look at procrastination the same way again. Before we begin, I want you to commit to this mindset right now. Scroll down and comment, "I take action, I create fate." Type it, claim it. Let this be your first action. This is Stoic win. The Stoics were not philosophers who sat in ivory towers writing ideas for others to admire. They were warriors of the mind, emperors, generals, slaves, merchants, people living in the real world, facing brutal challenges daily. And their core belief was this: philosophy means nothing if it does not lead to action. You can read all the books you want, watch 1,000 motivational videos, listen to endless podcasts, but if you do not act, you are fooling yourself. Seneca wrote, "While we wait for life, life passes." The ancient world was ruthless. Disease, war, betrayal, death, all could strike at any moment. They understood that time is the most precious currency, one that drains whether you use it or not. And the wise man, he acts, not perfectly, not always bravely, but he moves. He refuses to be frozen by fear or paralyzed by perfectionism. Modern life deceives us. It seduces us into endless consumption of content, of opinions, of noise. We think we're learning, preparing. That is why this video matters. I will not give you abstract ideas. You will hear 7 Stoic lessons, each one crafted to destroy hesitation and force movement. By the end, you will think differently. You will feel differently. And if you apply them, you will live differently. But first, take another small action. Comment below again to anchor this mindset deeper. I take action. I create fate. Type it now, and let us begin. Your first Stoic weapon is this: faith discomfort like a warrior. The modern mind is addicted to ease, soft beds, endless entertainment, instant gratification. But comfort breeds weakness. The Stoics knew this deeply. Epictetus said, "Difficulties show men what they are. When life hits you with adversity, when the task feels hard, when fear whispers in your ear, that is when your character is revealed." But here's where dark psychology offers a brutal insight. The mind's default is to run, to shrink away from effort, to choose the easy path, again and again, until your willpower is a shadow of what it could be. You become a slave to your feelings, telling yourself, "I don't feel ready." Understand, these feelings are not the guide. Action is. The warrior trains himself to seek discomfort, to rewire the brain's reward system, so that what is hard becomes. The next time you feel resistance, cold exposure, a difficult conversation, starting that project, Lean in, embrace the sting, reframe the pain as growth. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "If it is endurable, then endure it. Stop complaining." This is not cruelty, it is power, because once you break your addiction to comfort, hesitation dies. You begin to crave challenge, knowing each trial hardens your mind. So as you listen, remember, the path of action will feel uncomfortable. That is your signal to proceed, not retreat. Warriors grow through voluntary hardship. Today, choose what is difficult, and right now, take one small act of mental discomfort. Scroll down and comment again to sharpen your intent. The next lesson will teach you how to kill the hidden enemy called overthinking. The second enemy standing between you and action is one you know all too well: overthinking. The Stoics saw this trap clearly. Seneca wrote, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." Think about that. How many actions in your life have been delayed or destroyed because your mind spun a web of what-ifs, doubts, and imagined disasters? The dark psychology behind this is simple. Your brain is designed to predict danger. The more you think, the more danger it invents. The more it invents, the more paralyzed you become. Overthinking masquerades as wisdom. You tell yourself you need more research, more preparation, more clarity. But this is a lie. Often, the truth is this: you are afraid to move. You are addicted to thinking because it postpones the risk of failure. But the Stoic knows this. Thinking must serve action, not replace it. Now is the time to do what nature demands. Not tomorrow, not after one more analysis. Now. To kill overthinking, you must act faster than the mind can sabotage you. When you sense hesitation rising, when you catch yourself spiraling in thought, move. Even a small action breaks the loop. This is where a warrior mindset matters. Trained warriors do not think themselves into courage. They act their way into it. Discipline yourself to move with urgency. Let speed become your ally. And the more you do this, the quieter your fears will become. So here's your next step in training. Resist the urge to pause this video. Resist the urge to save it for later. Take action now. Strengthen your identity as someone who moves. Comment once more: I take action. I create fate. Because the next lesson will forge a mindset so cold and sharp that no distraction will pull you off course. Stay tuned. We're just getting started. The third Stoic lesson is to train the art of indifference. You cannot take massive action if you are chained to the opinions of others, the fear of judgment, or the need for approval. The Stoics called this the dichotomy of control. Some things are up to us, others are not. What people think of you, not in your control. How they react to your work, not in your control. Whether they praise you or mock you, not in your control. The only thing you command is your own action. Here's where dark psychology reveals a hard truth. Human nature craves social validation. The brain is wired to seek approval and avoid rejection. If you do not consciously break this programming, you will always hesitate when it matters most. You will water down your message. You will delay launching that business. You will live a life dictated by imagined opinions. The Stoics trained themselves to be immune to this. Epictetus taught, "If you wish to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid." Why? Because action in alignment with your values matters more than perception. Indifference is not apathy, it is clarity. You see the noise, and you move anyway. You understand the game, and you refuse to be a pawn. The more you practice this mental detachment, the freer you become. Action flows naturally when you are no longer trapped by the fear of looking foolish. Ironically, those who dare to move without approval are the ones who eventually earn respect. Now, put this into practice. Do not seek permission to act. Do not wait for likes, comments, or applause. You move because it aligns with your purpose. Period. To anchor this mindset, take one more act of indifference. Scroll down and type it again. I take action, I create fate. The next lesson will show you how to master the true battlefield, your mind. And once you do, external chaos will no longer shake you. Stay with me. We're entering deeper territory. The fourth Stoic lesson is perhaps the most crucial. Master the battlefield of the mind. Every action you take, or fail to take, begins here. If your mind is undisciplined, reactive, chaotic, no tactic, no strategy, no motivation will save you. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. Most people reverse this. They obsess over the external, trying to control the uncontrollable, while their inner world remains weak and noisy. Dark psychology teaches us this. The mind is easily manipulated by fear, doubt, and negativity. Negative thoughts trigger a biological cascade of stress and hesitation. If you do not take conscious control of your mental environment, you will live as a puppet to these forces. The Stoic solution? Relentless inner discipline. You become the commander of your own thoughts, observing them without attachment, choosing which ones deserve energy. Here is a brutal but freeing truth. Not every thought is worth your attention. In fact, most are not. The untrained mind is like an open battlefield, where any invading idea can wreak havoc. The trained Stoic mind is a fortress. It watches thoughts arise and chooses. Is this thought useful? Is it aligned with my values? If not, it is dismissed without a second glance. This mental detachment is not cold. It is because when your mind is disciplined, action becomes inevitable. No rogue thought can derail your mission. So, as you continue watching, make this your next mental rep. Observe your current state. Are you fully here, focused, calm, or distracted and reactive? Bring yourself back. Take control. And once more, reinforce this warrior identity. Scroll down and comment, "I take action, I create fate." Because in the next lesson, I will show you how to act even when motivation is nowhere to be found. This is where the gap between the ordinary and the Stoics is truly revealed. Stay sharp. The fifth Stoic lesson is this: act without waiting for motivation. This is where most people fail. They wait until they feel ready. But Stoicism teaches the opposite. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself daily, at dawn, when you have trouble getting out of bed, tell yourself, "I am rising to do the work of a human being." He didn't wait to feel like it. He moved because that was his nature, his duty. Here's where dark psychology again exposes a hidden trap. Your brain is built to seek short-term comfort and dopamine. Motivation is fleeting, unreliable, and often manipulated by external forces. If you depend on it, you'll be weak. The Stoic understands this. They train themselves to act independent of mood. The mindset is simple: discipline over feelings, duty over comfort. This is how warriors operate. Think about this. Have you ever done something difficult when you didn't feel like it, and afterwards felt powerful? That is the feedback loop of Stoic action. The act of moving forward despite resistance strengthens identity. Every time you act without motivation, you forge a stronger version of yourself, one who no longer negotiates with weakness. This is how greatness is built, not through endless hype, but through consistent, unemotional execution. So today, kill this lie once and for all. I'll act when I feel motivated. No, you act first, and motivation may follow, or it may not. It doesn't matter. The Stoic moves regardless, and here's your next small act of discipline. Don't skip this. Comment once more. I take action. I create fate. Do it now. Practice taking action when you're tempted to say, "I'll do it later." Because in the next lesson we'll turn fear itself into fuel. The shift you're about to learn can change your life forever. Stay with me. The transformation deepens from here. The sixth Stoic lesson is this: Turn fear into fuel. Fear is not your enemy. It is your raw power, if you learn to harness it. The average person flees from fear. The Stoic moves toward it. Seneca wrote, "We are more often frightened than hurt, and we suffer more in imagination than in reality." This is critical. Fear is a signal, not a stop sign. It shows you where growth lies, where life is urging you to evolve. Now, dark psychology gives us a brutal edge here. The mind can be conditioned. Fear triggers adrenaline. Most people allow that to freeze them. The warrior uses it. The Stoic breathes through it, channels it into focused energy. This is trained through exposure, seeking out fear in controlled doses and moving through it. Over time, the body learns. Fear equals action, not paralysis. Think about this. Every major life breakthrough lies on the other side of fear. Starting the business, speaking the truth, ending the toxic relationship, entering the unknown. If you avoid fear, you avoid life. The Stoic reframes fear, not as a threat, but as an invitation, an opportunity to transcend the false limits of the mind. Marcus Aurelius faced the constant threat of death and betrayal, yet he ruled with calm. Why? Because he trained himself to embrace fear, to see it clearly, and to act anyway. So here's your next training rep. Don't wait until fear disappears. It won't. Instead, act through it. Use the energy it provides. Fear sharpens focus, heightens awareness. If you harness it, it becomes rocket fuel. And to anchor this now, scroll down and comment again. I take action. I create fate. Each repetition wires your identity deeper, because in the next lesson, I will show you the ultimate Stoic weapon, the ability to detach from outcome. When you master this, you become truly unstoppable. Stay sharp. We are approaching the final transformation. The seventh and final Stoic lesson is this: detach from the outcome. This is where true power lies. The modern world teaches the opposite. Obsess over results, tie your identity to success or failure, but the Stoics saw through this illusion. Epictetus taught, make the best use of what is in your power and take the rest as it happens. Action is in your control, outcome is not. If you bind your self-worth to what you cannot control, you are building a mind of sand, easily shaken by every gust of fortune. Now here's where dark psychology sharpens the blade. Attachment creates fear. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of losing what you crave. This fear breeds hesitation and weakens action. The Stoic way is different. You focus entirely on the process, ruthless execution, high standards, but you release the result. You act for the sake of the act, for the sake of excellence, not applause. This mental detachment does not kill ambition. It liberates it. When you no longer fear the outcome, you move faster, bolder. You try more, risk more, create more. You become immune to setbacks because your identity is anchored in who you are, a person of action, not what happens. Marcus Aurelius ruled an empire, yet reminded himself daily, receive without pride, let go without attachment. This is the mindset of those who build legacies. So here is your final training act today. Reflect for a moment. What have you been clinging to? Where has attachment slowed your action? Now, commit to releasing it. Pour yourself into the process. Let results unfold as they will. And once more, to lock in this warrior identity, comment below, I take action, I create faith. Because in the final section, I will give you your last inspire you. It will transform you. Stay with me. One final step remains. You've now heard the 7 Stoic lessons. If you truly absorb them, you understand this. Action is the great separator. The weak think, wish, hope. The strong move. Marcus Aurelius ruled an empire under siege. Seneca wrote timeless wisdom under threat of death. Epictetus rose from slavery to become a philosopher whose words outlived kings. What set them apart? They acted, without waiting, without seeking permission, without attachment to praise or fear of failure. Now it is your turn. This video cannot change your life, only you can. But if you take these lessons seriously, if you begin today to seek discomfort, kill overthinking, train indifference, master your mind, move without motivation, turn fear into fuel, and detach from outcomes, you will become unstoppable, a person of relentless, disciplined, stoic action, and that kind of person shapes their own fate. So here is your final call. Don't just watch, don't just think, do. Apply one of these lessons today, before the sun sets. Take one action you've been avoiding. Start small if needed, but move. Let this be the first ripple of a new wave of disciplined action in your life. And one last time, if you are ready to embrace this path fully, scroll down and type it with unwavering intent. I take action. I create faith. Let it be your declaration, not just to me, but to yourself and the world. If you found value here, if this sparked even one insight that made you stronger, like this video, subscribe to Stoic Wind, and turn on notifications, because every week I'll bring you more timeless Stoic wisdom, sharpened with the edge of dark psychology, to forge a mind that few can rival. This is Stoic Wind. I take action, I create fate, and so can you. Now go and